All right, let's talk about the future of what is, without a doubt, the most critical component in all of modern technology, the semiconductor. Today, we're going to look ahead to the 2025 market forecast, and believe me, it is explosive. We'll break down what it all means for, well, pretty much everyone. Welcome back to the Flotow Salon. Our whole goal here is to take all this complex industry data and turn it into clear, useful insights for you. And today is definitely no exception. So where are we getting all this? Our entire breakdown today comes from a deep dive into the 2025 Global and China Semiconductor Forecast, put together by the Shen Xingmeng Research Department. We're going to unpack their biggest findings and give you a really clear picture of where this foundational industry is headed. Okay, so let's start with a big picture. And the big picture is growth, like massive growth. And the main reason for it, the catalyst behind it all, is a technology you've probably heard a little something about, the AI revolution. The headline number here is just staggering. The global semiconductor market is projected to hit $717 billion in 2025. That is a huge 14% jump year over year. That's not just growth. That is some serious momentum. But here's where it gets really interesting. It's where that growth is actually coming from. Sure, the whole market's up 14%, which is great, but look at the specific drivers. Memory, up over 20%. But the real superstar, no question, is GPGPU chips. You know, the brains powering all this AI. They're projected to skyrocket by 27%. That's nearly double the rate of the overall market. It's the clearest sign you can ask for that AI is creating an absolutely unprecedented level of demand. But you know, this boom isn't just about stamping out more and more chips. It's about a fundamental shift in how they're made. And this brings us to what the industry is starting to call the Foundry 2.0 revolution. So what on earth is Foundry 2.0? It's a term you're going to start hearing a lot more of because it represents a massive change in the whole business of making chips. In a nutshell, Foundry 2.0 is basically an all-in-one model. The top manufacturers aren't just selling you a silicon wafer anymore. They're offering a complete, totally integrated system. They're combining the wafer fabrication with advanced packaging, IDM services, even mask manufacturing. It's a true one-stop shop for creating the most powerful and complex chips in the world. And that leads us perfectly into our next key area, what I like to call the advanced packaging gold rush. This is where the real magic is happening right now. It's the technology that actually enables those super powerful AI chips we were just talking about. Now, if you look at the leaders in this space, it's fascinating. You've got your traditional packaging houses like ASC and Amkor, for sure. But look who else is on the list. The giants of chipmaking themselves, TSMC and Intel, right alongside China's JC Egypt. This just shows you how incredibly critical packaging has become. The folks who design the chips are now major players in how they get put together. And when you zoom in on the competitive landscape, you see two really distinct strategies playing out. You've got Taiwan, led by TSMC, which absolutely dominates the high end with its CoWoS technology. That's the super advanced stacking technique behind basically every top-tier AI GPU on the market. But at the same time, you have mainland China making this massive push, not just catching up in the established methods, but also forging ahead with its own next-generation packaging solutions. This brings us to probably the most monumental shift in the entire global supply chain. We are watching a new manufacturing epicenter rapidly take shape, and it's being driven by an absolutely unprecedented wave of investment and construction in mainland China. Just let this number sink in for a second. By 2027, mainland China is projected to have 71 advanced 300mm wafer fabs up and running. To put that into perspective, the industry hasn't seen an expansion on this scale in decades. It's a game changer. And hey, this isn't just some number on a slide. These are real, massive projects happening as we speak. We're talking about multi-billion-dollar investments from giants like SMIC in Beijing and Huaheng in Wuxi. Each one of these is a huge addition to global capacity, and they're targeting everything from logic chips to crucial components for the auto industry. And here's the really crucial point to understand. This isn't just about building fabs to churn out raw wafers. The strategy here is to build a complete end-to-end domestic ecosystem. And that means you need a parallel boom in the absolutely critical field of, you guessed it, advanced packaging. I mean, just look at some of these projects. You've got JCET building out a massive 2.5D and 3D wafer-level packaging facility. Tongfu Micro is zeroing in on the complex flip chip packaging that you need for high-performance CPUs and GPUs. And then there's Hutiang Tech, which is pioneering large-scale panel-level packaging. Each one of these is a vital piece of this emerging, self-contained supply chain. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground, so let's bring it all home. Let's distill this down to the three most important takeaways from this forecast and what they really mean for the future of all technology. First, AI is the growth engine. Full stop. It's not just a segment, it is the force that's driving demand for literally everything: processors, memory, packaging, the whole shebang. Second, manufacturing itself is evolving. The name of the game has changed. It's not just about shrinking transistors anymore. It's about creating these incredibly integrated systems through things like Foundry 2.0 and advanced packaging. And third, a new global manufacturing hub is rising. The sheer scale of the expansion happening in mainland China is going to fundamentally reshape the global semiconductor supply chain for many, many years to come. So, if there is one single idea to leave you with, it's this. The race for semiconductor dominance is no longer just about who can make the smallest transistor. It's about who can build the smartest package. And all of this leads to one final, critical question for all of us to think about. As chip manufacturing becomes more distributed, more global, and more competitive than ever, where will the next truly great innovation come from? That is the question to watch. Thanks for joining us here at the Salon.